Hey nerds, JJ Morris here. I just thought I'd update you guys on my quarter 2 progress since I did a quarter 1 progress video, and so I thought I'd do an update for the past few months. Basically, where I left off with my last video, I was in kind of a writing slump, getting really tired of my 8th or 7th or 8th time, draft-wise, doing a revision was rough. It took a long time. It's probably my least favorite part of the process that I've experienced so far. It's just when you get to the sentence level edits, they just really kind of suck. So yeah, I pushed through that and I was able to get the final draft of my manuscript finished. And then I started the query process, which was first for me. I've never queried anything before. And I only sent it out to 10, I think actually 11 people, because I don't, just the whole process of finding agents to query is so long and time consuming. I was doing other things and I was trying to get started with this other project, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to spend researching agents, trying to figure out which ones would be the best fit for me. So I only did 10 so far for my first round of query letters. And so far I've had rejections constantly, but that's to be expected. The one thing I am really excited about is I did get my very first full manuscript request, so that's really exciting. I sent that out maybe a week and a half ago after I received that, so that's really exciting. The way that that happened for me was I did the Twitter pitch war, which is basically, if you don't know, a Twitter pitch war is where you go on Twitter and one day, I don't know, where there's a few days throughout the year where authors will just put their pitch for their book into a tweet, which is obviously very limited characters, and so and then you hashtag it, whatever the contest is. It's usually Pit Mad is the big one. The one I did was Pit Dark, which was just all about dark stories and stuff, so horror, dark fantasy, that paranormal, that type of thing. So mine definitely fell into the dark fantasy realm, so I was able to do Pit Dark, which was a long day of me being on my phone and trying to update, just put a new tweet out every hour, which not all contests allow you to do it every hour, but this one allowed you to send out a tweet every hour. So that was exciting and nerve-wracking. I've never done a pitch war before, so that was a good experience. I got a total of 2 likes from people who are in the publishing industry. Also, I got a lot of other likes from people who just don't realize that when someone's doing a Twitter pitch war, you're supposed to, unless you're an agent or an editor or publisher, you're not supposed to like it. You're just supposed to you can comment on it or retweet it, but you're not really supposed to like it. So I got some likes from people who just didn't know that, you're not supposed to like it if you're not in the publishing industry. Anyway, so I got 2 small presses that were interested in hearing my my manuscript or my query, and so I sent those out. I got rejection from one, but the other one was the full manuscript request that I received. So really excited about that. It's a small press, and so I feel because it's a small press, there's not as many hoops you have to jump through compared to when you're going through a big 5 publishing house. I was able to query directly to the publisher instead of having to go through an agent, do it through an editor, to go through the publisher. So I think if she likes it, there's going to be less steps, but you never know, she might not like it. I'm trying really hard not to get my hopes up for it, but it's really hard because someone liked it, and I was like, yay, maybe this is it, maybe I'll sell this one. But yeah, I'm trying not to get too excited. Anyway, all the other queries I sent out have been basically form rejections. I don't think I've gotten any personalized rejection letters yet. And some of them, I think maybe 3 or 4 of them, were the type of agent where they just won't respond if they're not interested. They won't even send you a rejection. But so yeah, I've got one full request out there. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, in the meantime, I've been working on a lot of other projects. I'm really excited because I've been working with this band called Illyria. They are a progressive death metal band, and for the past year, 2 years maybe actually, I've been working with them to create a book for their concept album, which is really cool. Given that I'm a huge fan of metal music and concept albums, it's been a real pleasure working with them and turning their dark fantasy concept into an actual prose short story / novella type of work. And so So far, they have released 2 singles, which means I have released 2 chapters of the story thus far. You can go down, I'll have links to those down in the description if you want to read them. If you're a part of my reader community, then you've already gotten those in your emails. But yeah, I really suggest if you are into metal music that you check out the band Illyria. They are extremely talented. I don't know how they do any of this, but they're extremely talented. And they're from Brazil, and they're just really cool guys, and I've had so much fun working with them. But yes, hopefully the whole book story is going to come out here sometime, maybe in the fall or somewhere around there. Still have a lot of edits to do on the rest of the story, but after that, then I'll be sending it off to my editor for copy and line editing, and then yeah, and then we jump straight into publishing through Amazon. So I think that's our plan anyway, but we'll see how things go. It's interesting to try and market something that's like music and books at the same time, so I'm not really sure what the best marketing strategy is for that, but I guess you just have to try and see how things go and kind of trial and error type of situation. Aside from the Illyria project that I've been working on, I've also started a new novel. It's one that's kind of been pinging around in the back of my mind for a while now, maybe about a year or so. And it's a little bit different than anything I've ever done. It's not fantasy per se, it's more in the horror genre, and it's set in real time. And so this one I told myself, I was like, okay, you know, I only really want one point of view character, let's just make it easy on myself. One point of view character, shorter story. I was aiming for like 80,000 words max. I have not finished it so far. I hit kind of a speed bump. I got to all the way to the end, and I was planning on trying to finish the first draft in 6 weeks, but it didn't work out. I got like 90% of the way there in 6 weeks, but then I got to the climax of the story, like the very, very end, where everything's supposed to kind of tie together, and I realized that there were some issues with the rest of the story, and I wasn't quite happy with the way I outlined the ending, so I just decided to give it a break for a little while, come back in a month or two, and then, you know, look at it with fresh eyes and be able to see where I'm going wrong. Like, I already know some places I'm going wrong, some of the characters that just aren't quite working, but yeah, I plan to hopefully be able to finish that sometime before the end of fall, and then get working on that. But I'm maybe going to end up making it a choose-your-own-adventure story. Of course, I was like, yeah, make it easy on yourself. Just write something short, one point-of-view character, easy, set in real time, or set in current times. But then, of course, I go and I'm like, well, but you know what would be cool is if it was a choose-your-own-adventure novel, which, of course, is, like, way more work, because there's all the side options and stories. Anyway, I don't know if I will end up making it that way. Right now, I'm just working on the main storyline, and then from there, I'm going to try and work on branching off into other side stories and side options for you to choose as the reader, and we'll see how that goes. If it's working, then I'll keep it as a choose your own adventure and kind of explore those options. If not, then I'm just going to keep it as like a regular ass story and just be happy with that. But yeah, it definitely has a long way to go. I'm really happy with the voice of the character that I have so far. It's just some of the plot beats just aren't quite as exciting as I want them to be, and I guess I really enjoy having twist endings, and this one doesn't really have one, so I was like, I don't know, I can't really feel excited about the ending yet, so hopefully something will occur to me after I've given it a little bit of break. I've already given it, you know, like almost 3 weeks of not looking at it, so hopefully I'll strike some kind of genius when looking at it again on this next go-around. But I have revisions for Illyria to do, and we're already outlining the next kind of album story for the Illyria project, so really excited about that. But yeah, right now I'm kind of just on a writing break, I guess. I have been doing a lot of YouTube stuff, and yeah, I went on vacation, and I'm just kind of relaxing at the moment, which I don't know. I think I've talked about this before, about like not really wanting to take writing breaks because I feel guilty for not writing, but I think I really need them because, I don't know, just the inspiration and the excitement to write is not quite there, but I know it'll come back here pretty soon, so I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of my whole, what I've been working on so far is querying, and hopefully that turns out great, and then I've done the Illyria stuff, which is really exciting, and probably like my what I'm most excited about right now. And then I've been working on another project for my Choose Your Own Adventure, possibly, book. Oh, one other thing that I was able to accomplish this quarter was I published another short story, published on the Sirens Call e-magazine. It's a short body horror story about this woman who ends up kind of growing a zit, or at least that's what she thinks it is, until it starts growing teeth and hair and begins talking to her. So if you want to check out that short story, then I will have a link to that down in the description for Sirens Call magazine, and it has a summer theme to it, so if you're sweltering this heat and you want some horror stories to read by the beach, then definitely go check that out. As far as my goals for the next quarter, is kind of unsure at the moment. Definitely, I'll be publishing the full story of Illyria next quarter, so that's a big goal. I also just want to get through the draft one of this new story I'm working on. So those are my two main goals. And then if I hear anything back from my full manuscript request, then that will be another exciting thing, and I'm sure I'll have a lot of revisions to do on that end. But I'm not really planning that at the moment because I'm trying not to get too excited about it. Yeah, so that's it, really, what I'm doing, and then a ton of YouTube stuff on my other channel. Thank you all for watching. If you want to join my reader community, those links will be down in the description. Also, don't forget to go check out Illyria or read the stories if you're interested. Also, all those links and everything will be down in the description. Let me know in the comments too what you're working on, how this past quarter has been for you, and what your goals are for the next quarter.